even though it actually gave me this idea a couple years ago at actually a local hobby shop here in Biddeford, Maine. The deck, and if you actually am not sure what, basically Destiny Heroes with Ubels as a draw engine. So obviously, of course, to get started, we're running the boss cards of the deck, which is the first stage of Ubel, and then Terror Incarnate at 2 as well, and the 1 Nightmare. This deck actually has many backup plans. So if you can't recycle your Ubels, or you have no way to get into Ubel, you'll have plenty of other ways to be able to protect yourself. Now, Ubel is only part of the victory condition, but while I actually go through the deck with you guys, I'll actually do more explaining. Now, next up, we're running the first D hero, which is Malicious at 3. Now, he's actually great in here for a quick level 8 synchro. So you basically D-draw, or you Foolish him, or even Armageddon, or Grepher. You banish Malicious, summon Malicious from your deck. Next up, we're running Dark Grepher at 2. Mainly to get rid of the high levels in your hand, and also mill your dark monsters to the grave. Double Armageddon Knight. Now he's great for Foolishing a dark monster. May it be Ubel or a Malicious, it's up to you. Next up, for a stall tactic, is Krebins at 2. You basically pay 800 life points to negate an attack. Plague Spreader Zombie at 2. He's a tuner, and you basically place one card from your hand to the top of the deck, and you bring him back, and once you synchro with him, he is removed from play. Next up, the other D hero that we're running, Double Destiny Dasher. Dasher is actually great, especially if you draw into a Ubel, opening while Dasher's in the grave. You basically reveal it and you summon Ubel to the field. We're running 1 Diamond Dude at 1. Now, I do actually have to say how Diamond Dude actually works in here. If you actually Diamond Dude into the top card, which is a D draw, you actually get to draw 2 free cards. You do not have to discard a Destiny hero in order to draw the 2. It's a free effect. The 1 Prometheus, King of the Shadows. Just in the event we have to do an OTK quick. For every dark monster you remove, he gains 400 attack until the end of the turn. The 1 Dark Arm Dragon, for obvious reasons. And finally, for the last powerhouse, we're running Montage Dragon. Now, Montage Dragon is a great beat stick for this deck, especially since there's a lot of high levels, and if you have dead cards such as Incarnate, Nightmare, and a Dark Arm Dragon in your hand that you can't use, and you draw into Montage, he's actually great for a great powerhouse. Next up, we're running spells. Of course, the draw engine for D heroes, we're running triple D-draw. D-draw is great for discarding your Malicious in a hurry to draw the 2. We're running Dark Hole at 2, obvious reasons. We're running double MST to clear the back row. 1 Soul Charge to revive monsters, but I do have to say that you cannot recycle Terror Incarnate or Ultimate Ubel stages before you, and just in general, you can't Soul Charge into Terror Incarnate or Ultimate Nightmare, but you can definitely Soul Charge into other cards. And the 1 card that actually makes this deck easier is Reasoning. Reasoning is such a great card for this deck because you have many assortments of levels for the deck. The 1 Foolish, obvious reasons. Burial from a different dimension to recycle your banished cards, especially your Plague Spreader Zombies. And the 1 Raigeki, obvious reasons. I should not have to explain that. Now for traps, for the Ubels, we're running Limit Reverse at 3. Now, Limit Reverse is great for bringing back your Ubels, and when that monster switches to defense mode, it instantly destroys the monster that continuously on, and it works great for saving yourself from an OTK, especially with Ubel, because during your turn you would switch Ubel to defense mode, and because of limit reverse, Ubel will die, which goes into Terror Incarnate, and Terror Incarnate will dehold the field at the end phase. Next up, we're running double Mirror Force. Mirror Force is actually better for this deck. I was running double Blazing Mirror Force, but it actually killed me quicker, so I found that Mirror Force was just a better fit. The one warning, obvious reasons: Bottomless, to get rid of big powerhouses, and if they go to play a Gores on you, you'll get rid of the token as well. And finally, the last safe zone to protect Ultimate Nightmare or even another monster. It can't be destroyed or targeted by your opponent's cards, but unfortunately, the monster that safe zone is on cannot attack directly. Now for the extra deck, we're running one HTS Behemoth as an anti-meta tactic. Whenever it battles an opponent's monster, you banish HTS Behemoth and the monster that it battles. One Gaga Cowboy, which is just a great game changer card. We're running a Scrap Dragon, mainly to blow things up. One Stardust Dragon for prevention. One Castel, the Sky Blaster Musketeer, to either Maestro a monster face down defense or to shuffle a card on your opponent's side of the field back into the deck. One Black Rose Dragon for a board wipe when it's needed. One Ragnar Zero, mainly just to get rid of cards such as your Senjus with Tenki or Brotherhood of the Fire Fist with their fire formations that changed their original attack power. One Crimson Blader. Now, Crimson Blader is actually great to be used against, especially Quasar decks since they depend on TG Hyper Librarian along with Shooting Star and Quasar itself. Crimson Blader is actually great to face decks against them. One Beals for the Diabolic Dragons. I would actually recommend running a second one. Now, Beals is such a great card. However, things like Deep Prison actually get around Beals, and especially Stardust, because Stardust can't stop it. Now, the updated version of Beals is Dracosaitos. Dracosaitos is just such a great burn card for this deck. And lastly, to redirect cards, we are running Karen Gorgon. I've gotten OTKs with this deck. I never really have to rely on Bell anymore since I've actually built this deck. I've actually have won a lot of duels so far with it. So if you have any ideas though of what I can do to tinker with the deck, or if you have any comments, concerns, anything you want to mention in the comments below, please feel free. Fritz Marcy from Team Moonlight signing off. I love